Do all blind people think the same? Hell no. Hi guys, John and Neeson here from Blind Man Walking. Neeson is my guide dog. He is off harness but on leash right now, just checking out some smells. Had a lot of rain here yesterday. It's got some nice open grass here. Today's video is a tag video. I wasn't tagged in it, but that's okay, I'm still gonna do it. The video tag is, do all blind people think the same? And I am gonna say no. There are 9 questions. Beautiful day here in Victoria. 9 questions to answer. I'm gonna answer each of them as best I can based on my own personal experience, beliefs, opinions. And yeah, it's a great topic for discussion. You know, like any other demographic of society, we have opinions, views, values, beliefs. And I think it's fair to say that there are many different opinions on this one. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So these are statements, they're not really questions, and I can either agree or disagree with each, and I'll give my reason why. So statement 1 is, being blind has enhanced my other senses. I would agree with that. In the sense that my other senses, so my hearing, smell, touch, taste, whatever, are finely tuned. I am more in tuned with those senses. They are finely honed. Another way of saying this, I guess, would be my body is more in tune with those senses than a sighted person's body would be. Because in the sighted world, sight is the predominant sense. For blind people, they have to rely on a multitude of other senses. But from a biological perspective, a blind person's senses are not physically better. Statement number 2 is, I prefer to date a blind partner. I'm on the fence with this because I have experience dating both blind and sighted people. On the one hand, it is nice to have eyeballs around that work. It makes life a little easier, whether it be cleaning the house, cooking. Blind people do as best they can, but there's just some things that are made easier when you have sighted people around to help you. Reading the mail, going grocery shopping. These are things that sighted folk take for granted that we don't. It'd be nice to just hop in a car with your partner and go to the grocery store or the pharmacy or the bank or whatever, instead of having to walk in the rain, take the bus. When I read my mail, I have to either scan it or ask one of my roommates to help me read it. On the other hand, having a blind partner, for those, there might be some people who are a little self-conscious, so the fact that your blind partner can't physically see you might make them feel a little more comfortable. Personally, I can literally pick my nose in front of my partner and they would have no idea. Okay, I'm kidding. I do think that a relationship between blind people can be more fulfilling, simply because it is founded on getting to know the other person and not solely on physical appearance. Now, caveat, I have been victim of the whole "don't judge a book by its cover" saying. I have fallen for a blind partner who I got to know, and because of how they presented themselves, only to find out over time that they were not who I thought they were. And yeah, so we were not a good match. My long-winded explanation for saying that when it comes to whether or not I would prefer to date a blind or a sighted person, I have no preference. If there's a connection there that's mutual, go with it and see what happens. Statement number 3 is kind of a run-on to number 2. And I'm going off of memory, so my wording might not be totally accurate here, but the meaning is pretty clear. I am shallow when it comes to my partner. Blind people can be shallow, they can be judgmental. I certainly am. When it comes to a partner, there are specific things that I look for, pun intended. And if I don't find them in a prospective partner, then I am not interested. I look elsewhere. And maybe this is bad. Maybe I'm losing out. Maybe I'm missing out. But I think everybody, whether they're sighted or not, they have criteria that they look for in a partner. Human nature. I want to be compatible with my partner. I want to have things in common. I want to have a connection that's meaningful and hopefully long-lasting. And if I'm not into the person for one reason or another, then a connection is unlikely to happen between us. So, and I think that's common for everybody. Now, that said, I have had relationships where there was no spark right away, and I kept an open mind as best I could, and once I got to know the person, things developed from there. So it definitely wasn't love at first sight. But some people think love at first sight is a fantasy anyway. It's not really realistic. I have an opinion on that, but that's not what this video is about. So yeah, so I can be shallow, I can be judgmental, but I try not to be. Need some supper time! Okay. Unsolicited help makes things difficult for me. Honestly, I don't get a lot of unsolicited help. It's not like I've ever been grabbed and dragged across an intersection, anything like that. I have had people come up to me and ask if I would like help crossing a road or finding an elevator in a building, and sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no, but I've never had anybody help me against my will. Yet. Is that good, bud? Yum, 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 yum. Is the city where I live accessible to me? To be honest, the part of the city where I live / operate could be better. There are a number of streets, roads that I operate on throughout my week that have one or no sidewalk. The street that I live on only has one sidewalk, and it is on the other side of the road from where I live. A couple of bus stops I access regularly are pretty much on the road. There's no sidewalk. So yeah, the city could do a better job when it comes to blind accessibility for sure. I'm offended when blind is used as one of my descriptive characteristics. No, I'm not. I am blind. It makes up a huge part of my identity. So why would I be offended by that? Later, dude. Yeah. See ya. Will do. Little doggy playtime interlude. Neeson, come on. Being blind has impacted my mental health. Yes and no, good and bad, I think. We'll start with the bad. I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't been frustrated over the years when it comes to not being able to do things that I want to do because of my lack of vision. I want to be a pilot. Never gonna happen. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a farmer. I guess that could happen, but highly unlikely. It's harder for blind people to meet people. It's harder to socialize. It's harder to get around, period, which makes it difficult. So there's been, like, I think a lot of blind people at some point in their life do feel some isolation, and I'm certainly no exception to that. Neeson, come on, buddy. That's what dogs are for. I will say that because of the determination and creativity, adaptability, perseverance that blind people have to exhibit in order to do stuff in life, when you accomplish something, when you knock off one of your big life goals, you get this amazing sense of accomplishment that I think is above and beyond what a sighted person would get. At least for me, I do anyway. Have you ever been discriminated against? Yes. Employment, for sure. I think that's a common blind issue, which is really pathetic. But it is what it is. Oh my goodness. Very scary.
Oh yeah, he thinks he is. He's only 5 pounds.
Oh my goodness. Scary monster over here. Lots of scary monsters on this walk. Neeson, come on, bud. And the last statement is something to the effect of, if you could regain your sight, would you? If a cure for your sight became available, if a cure for your blindness became available, would you take it? Pretty sure that's what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you and say no. It would be cool to see. Being able to drive would be pretty sweet. Being able to watch TV, being able to do lots of things that I do now, but I don't rely on vision to do. So it would be cool to have that experience, for sure. However, being blind has opened up doors for me that I don't know if they would be opened or not if I could see. I've gone to 2 Paralympic Games, trying to go to a 3rd. If I could see, my life would be probably very, very different than what it has, than how it's played out so far. So that sums up the video for today. Those are the 9 statements. I hope you guys now have a bit of insight when it comes to how blind people think. Because like the sighted world, we do have our own opinions, beliefs, morals, as I said at the beginning of the video. And now I'm off to enjoy the rest of this beautiful day with my dog. Cheers.